Good morning, welcome to the Words of Hope. I'm Velasquez, your host, and we are going to study the topic or the theme about moving forward. In Exodus chapter 14, verse 15, we read, "Then the Lord said to Moses, 'Why are you crying to me? Tell the sons of Israel to go forward.'" So this is our text, and two of our many human problems is to dwell. Number one is to dwell in the past, or second, to find a place of comfort and just stop. As Christian, we must be diligent in our growth, the adding of the qualities to our lives that help us mature and be a better Christians. We may have pride in some of our accomplishments in the past, but what we have accomplished needs to continue to be accomplished in our spiritual lives. The Apostle Paul wrote in Philippians chapter 3 verse 13 to 14, it says, "Brethren, I do not regard myself as having laid hold of it, but one thing I do, forgetting what lies behind and reaching forward to what lies ahead. I press on towards the goal of the prize of the upward call of God in Christ Jesus." So that was written in Philippians chapter 3 verse 13 to 4. So the goal of Paul, or the goal of each and every Christian, is the prize that is in heaven. We should never stop trying to attain such a goal. As Christian, it is our duty to not only go to heaven, but to take people with us. We read of the Ephesian church in Revelation chapter 2 about how they have championed the Lord in many ways. But they did that in the past. The problem for Ephesus is that they had left their first love. They lost sight of the goal and were resting upon their laurels. They were told to remember their first deeds and continue in them, otherwise judgment would fall upon them. There is what we call devotion during difficulty. In Luke chapter 22 verse 44 it says, and I read, "And being in agony, Jesus prayed more earnestly. Then his sweat became like great drops of blood falling down to the ground." Our devotion to God during the times of difficulty presents some special challenges. There is of course a sense in which it is easier to seek God when we were beset with problems. Indeed, in times of crisis, there are there are some that they seek God during the time of crisis. But in another sense, it's harder to love God with any warmth of affection when our circumstances are such that He seems far away. What should we do about our devotional life when we are passing through some ordeals of suffering or emotional barrenness? As much as possible, we should hold on to our regular daily times of devotion, because doing this is not easy as well, we know, but it is important to try. Difficulty, special tragedy, are almost always involves a disruption of our regular daily schedule. But for example, we normally devote ourselves to a few moments of prayer at the beginning of each day. It's important to try to maintain that habit even on the hard days. When crisis makes an appearance in our lives, if we can hold on to any semblance of our usual devotion discipline, it helps us to meet our challenges in a stronger way. We should not forget to be grateful simply because we, at a given moment, may be experiencing something of the bitterness of life. That does not mean that God is not still in His throne, ruling with benevolence and grace. Even on our darkest day, there is still much more to be thankful for than there is to regret. During painful times, it is especially important to try to maintain our perspective and recognize that our pain is not the whole truth about life in the world, or even our own life in the world, we need to give thanks to God every single day. We should persevere. The fact of the matter is God is never far away from us. Not really. It's just that we feel like that at a certain times. At those times, we must make up our minds to maintain our faith and obedience, knowing that the season of spiritual dryness and desolation are only temporary. In time, the feelings that we want to have about God will return. Meanwhile, God is still God. Even when our feelings waver, our love for Him must not, according to Gary Henry. The great thing about all that is what we do is that we do not have to go it through alone. We will not go through it alone. We have each other to help and support. Some need our support in a very difficult time in life. Some need our support to begin a Christian journey. Some need our support to realize they need Christ in their lives. We all need each other, and in so many ways, so let us move forward together. So let us, brethren, Christians who are followers of the Lord, whatever is happening in your life today, it is not the whole story. It is just an ingredient to make you stronger. Be faithful to the Lord, and do not ever leave the side of the Lord, for God says He will never leave us nor forsake us. God bless you. Till next time, God bless you. Shalom.